Welcome to CyberExplain channel. Today we are going to discuss AI governance, navigating EU AI Act, ISO 42001 and ethical AI vertical bar CyberExplain. Hey everyone, and welcome back to CyberExplain. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that's quickly becoming critical for every organization leveraging AI, governance, compliance, and regulations. It's not just about building amazing AI models anymore, it's about building them responsibly, ethically, and legally. As AI systems become more autonomous and influential, the need for robust oversight mechanisms is absolutely paramount. We are talking about preventing unintended harm, ensuring fairness, and building public trust, which, let's be honest, is easier said than done. So, buckle up, because we are going to navigate this complex landscape together, cutting through the legal jargon to get to the practical implications. Think of this as our guide to not just surviving, but thriving in the new age of regulated AI. Let's kick things off with arguably the most comprehensive piece of AI legislation globally, the EU AI Act. This isn't just another privacy regulation, it's a monumental effort to regulate AI systems based on their potential to cause harm. The Act adopts a risk-based approach, categorizing AI systems into different risk levels, each with corresponding obligations. Think of it as a tiered security model, but for AI. It's designed to ensure that AI systems placed on the European market, or whose output affects people in the EU, respect fundamental rights and values. This means even if you are a US company, if your AI impacts EU citizens, you are very much in scope. This extraterritorial reach is a critical aspect that often surprises organizations. The heart of the EU AI Act lies in its risk categorization. We've got four main tiers: unacceptable risk, high risk, limited risk, and minimal or no risk. Unacceptable risk AI systems, like social scoring by governments or manipulative subliminal techniques, are outright banned. High-risk systems, on the other hand, are permitted but come with stringent requirements. We'll dive into those in a moment. These typically involve critical infrastructure, education, employment, law enforcement, and even managing access to essential private services. Limited and minimal risk systems have lighter transparency obligations or are mostly unregulated, respectively. It's a pragmatic approach, focusing regulatory muscle where the potential for harm is greatest. Let's be crystal clear about the unacceptable risk category. These are practices the EU considers a direct threat to fundamental rights and are therefore prohibited. We are talking about AI systems that deploy subliminal techniques to distort a person's behavior, leading to harm, or systems that exploit vulnerabilities of specific groups. Think predictive policing based on biometric data in public spaces, real-time remote biometric identification by law enforcement, with very narrow exceptions, or systems used for social scoring by public authorities. These are not handle with care scenarios, they do not implement directives. It's a strong stance, aiming to prevent the dystopian scenarios often depicted in science fiction from becoming reality. Ignoring these prohibitions isn't just a compliance failure, it's a legal and ethical catastrophe waiting to happen. Now, for the really complex part, high-risk AI. This category is where most organizations will find themselves wrestling with the Act's provisions. If your AI system is classified as high-risk, you are looking at a serious checklist of obligations. We are talking about robust risk management systems throughout the AI system's lifecycle, from design to decommissioning. You'll need high-quality training, validation, and testing data, ensuring no bias creeps in that could lead to discriminatory outcomes. Furthermore, strict record-keeping, detailed technical documentation, and human oversight mechanisms are non-negotiable. It's about designing transparency and accountability into the very core of your AI system, not just as an afterthought. This ensures that even in critical applications, AI remains a tool, not an uncontrolled entity. Let's drill down into two critical aspects for high-risk AI: technical documentation and data governance. For documentation, Think of it as a comprehensive dossier on your AI system, detailing its purpose, how it was developed, its performance metrics, and its intended use. This isn't just for auditors, it's crucial for internal understanding and future maintenance. On the data side, the Act demands rigorous data governance practices. This means ensuring your training, validation, and testing datasets are relevant, representative, sufficiently large, and free from errors or biases that could lead to discriminatory outputs. We are talking about robust data provenance, quality checks, and even ethical impact assessments on your data collection strategies. Think garbage in, garbage out amplified by 1,000 bad data in a high-risk AI system can have devastating real-world consequences. Once a high-risk AI system is developed, it must undergo a conformity assessment before being placed on the market. This can be a self-assessment for some systems, but for others, it requires assessment by a notified body, an independent third party. Think of it like getting a CE mark for electronics. It's a declaration that your AI system meets all the EU AI Act's requirements. But compliance doesn't stop there. Post-market monitoring is a continuous obligation, meaning you must have systems in place to monitor the AI's performance, identify potential risks, and report serious incidents to market surveillance authorities. This lifecycle approach is critical. AI isn't static, and its impact can evolve, so your vigilance must too. It truly emphasizes that responsibility extends far beyond the initial deployment. While the EU AI Act sets legal mandates, ISO/IEC 42001 provides a practical framework for how to achieve and demonstrate compliance. It's the world's first international standard for artificial intelligence management systems, or AIMS. If you are familiar with ISO 27001 for information security management systems, you'll recognize the structure. ISO 42001 helps organizations establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve an AIMS. It's all about integrating responsible AI practices into your organizational processes, ensuring a systemic approach to managing AI-related risks and opportunities. Think of it as the how-to guide for embedding AI governance into your company's DNA, moving beyond just legal checkboxes to genuine operational excellence. At its core, ISO 42001 follows the familiar Plan Do Check Act (PDCA) cycle, just like other ISO management standards. Plan involves defining the scope of your aims, identifying risks and opportunities, and setting objectives. Do is about implementing the controls and processes necessary to achieve those objectives. Check means monitoring, measuring, analyzing, and evaluating the AIMS's performance, including conducting internal audits. And finally, Act involves taking corrective actions and continually improving the AIMS based on the results. This cyclical approach ensures that your AI governance isn't a one-off project but an evolving system that adapts to new challenges and technologies. It's about building resilience and continuous improvement into your AI operations. Delving into the specifics of ISO 42001, Chapters 4, 5, and 7 are crucial. Chapter 4, Context of the Organization, requires you to understand your internal and external issues, interested parties, and the scope of your aims. For example, what are the regulatory demands, and who are your stakeholders? Chapter 5, Leadership, emphasizes top management commitment. This means establishing an AI policy, assigning roles and responsibilities, and ensuring resources are allocated. It's about leadership setting the tone for AI responsibility. Chapter 7, Support, covers resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. This translates to training your staff, clearly communicating AI policies, and maintaining essential records. Without these foundational elements, any aims would struggle to gain traction or be effective. Moving to Chapters 8, 9, and 10 of ISO 42001, Chapter 8, Operation, is where you actually implement and control your AI processes. This involves operational planning, risk treatment plans, and controls for things like data input, model development, and monitoring. It's about putting your policies into practice every day. Chapter 9, Performance Evaluation, focuses on monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation. This includes auditing your aims, reviewing its effectiveness by management, and ensuring objectives are being met. Finally, Chapter 10, Improvement, is about continually enhancing your aims. This means addressing non-conformities, taking corrective actions, and continuously seeking ways to make your AI systems safer, more ethical, and more compliant. This iterative process is key to keeping pace with evolving AI technologies and risks. Annex A of ISO 42001 is where the rubber meets the road. It provides a comprehensive set of specific controls for AI management, much like Annex A of ISO 27001. These controls span areas like data governance, algorithmic transparency, human oversight, AI impact assessment, and even managing adversarial attacks. For example, you will find controls relating to the proper documentation of AI systems, ensuring explainability, establishing a process for ethical review, and securing AI supply chains. It offers practical guidance on how to implement the requirements of the core standard. These controls are not just theoretical, they are actionable items that organizations can adopt to build a robust and responsible AI management system. This is where you get into the nitty-gritty of how to secure and manage AI effectively. Let's bring this to life with a real-world scenario. Imagine InnovateTech, a global tech company based in the US, developing a new AI-powered diagnostic tool for medical imaging. This tool will be deployed in hospitals across Europe. Suddenly, they are thrust into the complex world of the EU AI Act and ISO 42001. InnovateTech knows that even though they are not in the EU, deploying their product there means they must comply. Their AI tool, directly impacting patient health decisions, immediately falls into the high-risk category under the EU AI Act. This triggers a cascade of requirements, from data governance to conformity assessment. They can't just ship it, they need a robust strategy to ensure their product is not only clinically effective but also legally and ethically sound, preventing potential market exclusion and severe penalties. InnovateTech begins by meticulously classifying their AI diagnostic tool. Given its use in critical healthcare decisions, directly impacting life and health, it's unequivocally high risk. This means they need to establish an EU AI Act compliant risk management system from the ground up, documenting every potential risk, from data drift causing misdiagnosis to adversarial attacks altering scan results. They'll need to demonstrate robust human oversight capabilities, ensuring clinicians can always override or validate AI decisions. Furthermore, they must ensure their training datasets reflect diverse patient populations to avoid algorithmic bias, a critical step to prevent discriminatory outcomes. This isn't just about technical performance, it's about societal impact and trustworthiness, which is a huge shift for many developers. To manage these complex obligations systematically, InnovateTech decides to pursue ISO IEC 42001 certification. This isn't legally mandated like the EU AI Act, but it provides a structured path to compliance and demonstrates their commitment to responsible AI. They start by defining the scope of their aims to cover the entire lifecycle of their diagnostic tool. Leadership establishes an AI governance committee, with representatives from legal, ethics, engineering, and clinical operations to oversee the aims. They begin drafting an AI policy, clearly articulating their commitment to fairness, transparency, and patient safety. This structured approach helps them integrate the disparate requirements of the EU AI Act into a cohesive, manageable system. InnovateTech now dives into data governance, a crucial intersection for both the EU AI Act and ISO 42001. They implement stringent processes for data acquisition, anonymization, and storage, ensuring compliance with GDPR as well. Their data science team conducts thorough AI impact assessments, AIAs, on their datasets and models, proactively identifying potential biases related to age, gender, or ethnicity that could affect diagnostic accuracy for certain groups. This isn't a one-time audit, it's a continuous process, integrating AI into their MLOps pipeline. They leverage tools that monitor data drift and model performance over time, triggering alerts if deviations indicate potential issues. This proactive stance is essential to mitigate risks before they escalate to critical levels, and it's a prime example of operationalizing ethical principles. Healthcare, as in InnovateTech's case, is one of the most heavily regulated sectors for AI. Beyond the EU AI Act, AI systems must also integrate with existing medical device regulations like the EU's Medical Device Regulation, MDR, or the FDA in the US. This means clinical validation, pre-market authorization, and robust quality management systems. Imagine the stakes: an AI model misdiagnosing a rare condition could have devastating consequences. Compliance here isn't just about fines, it's about patient safety and trust. AI systems in healthcare must demonstrate not only technical accuracy but also explainability to clinicians, allowing them to understand the AI's reasoning and ensure human oversight remains effective. This convergence of AI-specific regulations and existing industry standards creates a complex, multi-layered compliance challenge. Another industry facing immense AI compliance pressure is financial services. Here, AI models often determine credit scores, loan approvals, or detect fraud, directly impacting individuals' economic well-being. Beyond GDPR and the EU AI Act's high-risk classifications, financial institutions must contend with regulations like MiFID II, Dodd-Frank, and specific anti-money laundering (AML) directives, all of which have AI implications. The challenge often lies in the black box nature of advanced AI models and the demand for explainability, especially for adverse decisions affecting consumers. Regulators want to know why a loan was denied, not just that an algorithm said so. This pushes for explainable AI, XAI, techniques and robust model validation processes, often requiring quantitative risk assessments of AI outputs that traditional models never faced. It's about transparency in automated decision-making. Moving beyond just legal compliance, ethical AI principles are the bedrock of responsible AI development. Fairness and non-discrimination are absolutely paramount. This means actively working to prevent AI systems from perpetuating or amplifying existing societal biases. Think about an AI recruiting tool that inadvertently favors male candidates because it was trained on historical data where men were disproportionately hired for certain roles. This isn't just a technical glitch, it's an ethical failure with real-world consequences. Achieving fairness requires careful data curation, bias detection techniques, and fairness-aware algorithms, alongside rigorous testing across diverse demographic groups. It's a continuous journey, not a destination, and demands constant vigilance from every team member involved in AI development. Transparency and explainability are two other pillars of ethical AI. Transparency is about understanding how an AI system works at a high level, knowing its purpose, capabilities, and limitations. Explainability, or XAI, goes deeper, aiming to make AI decisions understandable to humans, especially when those decisions have significant impacts. Why did the medical AI suggest this diagnosis? Which features influenced its credit decision? These aren't trivial questions. Black box models, while powerful, can erode trust and make accountability impossible. Developing techniques like local interpretable model agnostic explanations, or SHAP, happily additive explanations, values helps break down complex model outputs into understandable components. This empowers users to challenge decisions and ensures that AI is a collaborative tool, not an opaque authority. Finally, we have accountability and human oversight. Who is ultimately responsible when an AI system makes a mistake or causes harm? This needs to be clearly defined, not just for legal purposes, but for ethical responsibility. Human oversight ensures that AI systems are always subject to human control and intervention, especially in high-stakes scenarios. It's about designing human-in-the-loop mechanisms, where human operators can monitor, validate, and if necessary, override AI decisions. This requires clear interfaces, effective alerting systems, and well-trained human operators. The goal isn't to replace humans entirely, but to augment their capabilities, while always maintaining a human safety net. This principle underpins much of the EU AI Act's high-risk requirements, emphasizing that critical decisions affecting people must ultimately reside with a responsible human. To operationalize these principles, many organizations are adopting comprehensive AI trustworthiness frameworks. Think of these as internal blueprints for responsible AI. They often integrate aspects of NIST's AI risk management framework, the OECD's AI principles, and of course, ISO 42001. A key practice is to embed AI ethics into your MLOps pipeline, from data ingestion to model deployment and monitoring. This means automated checks for bias, explainability metrics, and privacy-preserving techniques are part of your CI/CD for AI. Regular, independent audits of AI systems, perhaps by an internal AI ethics committee or external experts, also become standard practice. This holistic approach ensures that trustworthiness isn't an afterthought, but a core quality built into every AI product. It's a proactive rather than reactive stance. Now, let's talk about the real challenges in all of this. First up, data governance and quality. The demands for high-quality, unbiased, and representative data, especially for high-risk AI, are incredibly stringent. Many organizations struggle with data lineage, knowing exactly where their data came from, how it was processed, and if it truly represents the target population. Synthetic data generation can help, but it comes with its own set of validation challenges. Ensuring data privacy while also having enough data for robust model training creates a constant tension. This isn't just about cleaning data, it's about establishing an entire organizational culture around data stewardship and ethical data practices, which is a massive undertaking for even large enterprises. It often requires significant investment in infrastructure and expertise. Another huge hurdle is model explainability and interpretability, especially for complex deep learning models. While techniques like SHAP and LIME exist, they often provide local explanations rather than a complete, global understanding of why a model makes certain decisions. For high-risk AI, regulators often demand more than just a partial explanation. They want to understand the underlying logic. Furthermore, the very nature of adversarial attacks exploits subtle, often uninterpretable vulnerabilities in these complex models. Achieving both high performance and high interpretability remains an active research area and a practical dilemma for developers. Balancing the black box power with the glass box need for transparency is a constant trade-off. It's a challenge that pushes the boundaries of current AI research and deployment. For global companies like our InnovateTech scenario, cross-border regulatory complexity is a nightmare. Different jurisdictions will have different AI laws, and while some, like the EU AI Act, have extraterritorial reach, others might not. Harmonizing compliance across various legal frameworks, each with its own nuances and enforcement mechanisms, is incredibly difficult. Imagine tracking AI policy changes in dozens of countries simultaneously. Furthermore, actual enforcement mechanisms are still evolving. Who has jurisdiction when an AI system developed in one country causes harm in another, using data from a third? These are not easily answered questions, creating legal uncertainty and significant operational overhead for multinational organizations trying to do the right thing. The cybersecurity aspect of AI governance is also constantly shifting. We are not just talking about traditional software vulnerabilities, we are dealing with new attack vectors specific to AI. Adversarial attacks, where subtly manipulated inputs trick models into making incorrect predictions, are becoming more sophisticated. Data poisoning attacks can corrupt training data, leading to biased or malicious model behavior. Model inversion attacks can reconstruct sensitive training data from model outputs. Detecting these advanced threats requires specialized tools and expertise. Furthermore, the rapid pace of AI innovation means that new vulnerabilities and attack methods emerge almost daily, making proactive defense and continuous monitoring an ongoing battle. Securing AI isn't just a compliance issue, it's a critical, evolving cybersecurity challenge. To address these challenges, implementing a secure AI development lifecycle, AI-SDLC, is paramount. This extends traditional DevSecOps principles to AI, integrating security and ethical considerations at every stage. We are talking about threat modeling for AI systems, secure coding practices for ML frameworks, and vulnerability testing specifically for AI components. It involves incorporating privacy-enhancing technologies like differential privacy or federated learning from the outset. Automated security checks in your MLOps pipelines can flag potential vulnerabilities or deviations from ethical guidelines early on. The goal is to shift left security and ethics in AI development, making them foundational rather than reactive measures applied at the very end. This proactive approach drastically reduces risks and improves overall trustworthiness. Establishing dedicated AI ethics committees or similar governance structures is a crucial mitigation strategy. These committees provide interdisciplinary oversight, bringing together legal experts, ethicists, data scientists, and business leaders to review AI projects. They can help navigate complex ethical dilemmas, ensure compliance with internal policies and external regulations, and provide a critical check on potential biases or harms. Think of them as your internal AI conscience, ensuring that innovation doesn't outpace responsibility. Their role is advisory but influential, helping to guide the strategic direction of AI development and deployment, ensuring that every AI product aligns with organizational values and societal expectations. This formalizes the ethical review process, making it a tangible part of your AI strategy. Even after deployment, the work isn't over. Continuous monitoring and auditing of deployed AI systems are absolutely essential. This goes beyond traditional system monitoring. It involves tracking model performance, detecting data and model drift, and identifying any new biases that emerge in real-world use. Think about setting up automated alerts for significant changes in model predictions or for shifts in input data distributions that could indicate a problem. Regular, independent audits, both internal and external, can verify compliance with regulations like the EU AI Act and standards like ISO 42001. This ongoing vigilance ensures that your AI systems remain compliant, ethical, and effective throughout their operational lifespan, adapting to real-world conditions and emerging threats. It's an active defense posture, not a passive one. The landscape of AI governance and compliance is still rapidly evolving. We are seeing more regions, like the UK and Canada, developing their own AI strategies and regulatory frameworks, often influenced by the EU AI Act but with local specificities. The future will likely involve greater international cooperation to harmonize these disparate regulations, but expect a patchwork for some time. For organizations, this means adopting a flexible, adaptive approach to AI governance. It's about fostering a culture of responsible innovation, where legal teams, ethicists, and engineers collaborate closely from conception to deployment. This isn't just about avoiding penalties, it's about building trustworthy AI that serves humanity positively. The journey is complex, but the destination, a world of safe, ethical, and beneficial AI, is worth every effort. Alright, we've covered a lot today. To wrap things up, remember that the EU AI Act is a global pacesetter, demanding risk-based compliance, especially for high-risk systems. ISO IEC 42001 offers a structured, practical path to build an AI management system, integrating ethical principles into your operations. Real-world scenarios, especially in sensitive sectors like healthcare and finance, highlight the immense challenges and the critical need for proactive, comprehensive compliance. Ethical AI principles like fairness, transparency, and accountability aren't just buzzwords, they're foundational to preventing harm and building trust. And finally, addressing challenges through secure AI-SDLCs, ethics committees, and continuous monitoring is key to navigating this dynamic landscape successfully. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Stay safe and keep building smarter, more responsible AI. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the CyberExplain channel. See you on the next video.